everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. And please subscribe to Womanology at SOLC Network. I am here with Miss Cherita. Will you please introduce yourself?
Certainly. Well, first off, thank you so much for the invitation to be here. My name is Cherita O'dell. In my previous life, I was an athlete, a collegiate athlete, and a national athlete. And I'm currently a realtor, an entrepreneur, and more recently, an author.
Hmm. Well, that's amazing. You have so many titles. I wanted to get into real estate a little bit, but for some reason I can't like figure out like the the the
It
the
is
the
challenging. It is
the,
challenging. You have
the
to
how
have
to say
your
it.
broad
Hmm.
shoulders.
Yeah, because I'm like, oh, that would be a nice house to purchase and like to rent out or just, just to have. And I'm like, well, what do I need to do? Like, so yeah, maybe, you can give us some tips on things like that because that's a good start to have. So again, we always start with an icebreaker, guys, and you know this.
Hmm.
So, what are you listening to? What music are you listening to? What books are you listening to? What podcasts are you listening to? You know, let us know.
Sure. Well, I'm from the islands. I'm from the
Mhm.
beautiful tropical island of Barbados. Yes, I would have gone to college in Houston, Texas, but my heart is Caribbean. So anything that I love to listen to, it has to have a bass line and a
Oh,
beat.
so you like to dance?
Of course, of course. So, like,
Yes.
even more inspirational lyrics, but you have to give me that reggae infusion in there, some soca, something to make me move.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I enjoy dancing too, but I am not
Mhm.
good at Caribbean dancing moves. The way the hips and the body move, and it's like it's not together, but it is. I cannot. Mm-mm. No, I'm not meant to make myself look like a fool.
All you need to remember is to move to the bass. Just a little bump, 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 and you are good.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. Okay. I'm gonna keep that in mind. So I guess what I'm listening to right now, I've been listening to some gospel lately. And
Mhm.
this might be a little controversial, but I've been listening to Sunday Service Choir album that Kanye promoted. So I kind of been listening to
Mhm.
that. And let's see, any books? No, still no audiobooks right now that I'm currently listening to. I was listening to a podcast that I haven't finished with Dr. Anita. She has the book about, I forgot her title. I will remember it and I will put it in the caption. Um, Dr. Anita, she is the
Mhm.
new pastor at one church in LA. She
Mm.
has a book, I think is, oh my goodness. I forgot, but she breaks down on how neurology and the Bible and how it coincides together. So I wanted to listen to her
Okay.
podcast because I wanted to, hear how she makes that together.
Yeah.
But again, that's all I got. So yes. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming on. So Miss Sharita, you are an athlete, you are a realtor, you are an author. You have so many titles. So how did you get started? Can you please tell us just from the beginning, how did you get started?
Mm. Wow. Well, it depends on how far back you want to go. So I'll try to give a little tidbit of the far back and bring it forward quickly.
Okay.
So as I said, I'm from the island of Barbados. I would have received an athletic scholarship to
Hmm.
Rice University, Houston, Texas. And I was there 4 years. I did long and triple jump, and I would have been competing nationally for Barbados as well. I had the opportunity to make national teams, and on one occasion, um, while I was competing in Texas, I made a very big jump, and that qualified me for the Olympic Games.
Hmm.
So it ended up being a national record that stood here for 20 years.
Oh wow, that's
Yes,
amazing.
yes, so I'm grateful for that. And the athlete who broke it, well deserved. I would have
Hmm.
obviously known what effort it took for her to make that big jump. So I felt so I felt so good when I had to give her the trophy at the track meet when she broke it. That was an amazing feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yes, so that is how I went from collegiate life
Mm-hmm.
then to the Olympics representing Barbados. That's how it all
Okay.
started.
Well, good. Thank you. So going from there, and then what made you want to share your story for other people to become inspirational?
Sure. Let's be honest, as grown folks, as they say, life be lifing, right?
Life
And
be
life
life,
be
and
lifing.
sometimes we holding on.
Oh
We
my
just
gosh.
holding on to the raft and going with the
And,
flow. Seriously, life
and
be life.
listen, and let's be honest, in the last 5 years, hasn't it felt more difficult than ever to try to stay alive? Like everything has been coming.
I think so too. You know what? It's COVID. I'm just gonna start blaming stuff on COVID because
I
it
know.
has to be because it's been very difficult just to be like, we're here again.
I know. If it isn't COVID, now we have wars. Like in between, there's something else. It's too much. It's too much.
It's so
So,
much.
I just wanted to share to help people know that things can go wrong, and each of us have our individual crises, challenges. Um, Sometimes, stuff that happens that seems insurmountable,
Gotcha.
but God, but
But my
God, sometimes you just have to know that others have made it through their gauntlet and
hmm
that you can too. So I
hmm
think that's why I just wanted to, share a story that was tragic for me.
hmm
And in it, people could see themselves wherever they are at and know that this is not the end. You bounce
Yeah, I
back,
got you.
life goes on.
Oh, I love a bounce back story. So
I
we
know.
were a collegiate athlete, and we went from a collegiate athlete to an Olympic athlete. And then from there, what took a turn? What happened after that portion?
Sure. Well, I would have qualified for the games, as I said, and this would have been the Centennial Games in Atlanta
Oh, I
many, many
remember.
moons ago.
Yeah.
1996. Don't be trying to work out my age, folks. Many moons ago.
No, I remember the 1996 in Atlanta Games. And you
Yes.
want to know how I
Yes.
remember? My dad is a track and field enthusiast. So,
Really?
yeah, but I have a lot of siblings. And so
Mhm.
we were trying to figure out how we were going down to Atlanta to see the games. So that's
Oh,
how,
nice.
yeah. So go
Oh,
ahead.
wow. Look at
Talk about
that.
it. Uh-huh.
Look at that.
So, yeah, but I'm sorry.
So,
Go ahead.
yeah, no problem. I was excited, like anyone one would be. Only 5 athletes were selected to represent Barbados in athletics, the athletics component.
Mhm.
We would have had other athletes traveling with us for other disciplines. And what persons don't realize is that just a couple days before your actual event, there
Mhm.
is a practice meet.
Okay.
That's how the athletes stay sharp, right? So they're often in a training camp for a month before the games. They come to Atlanta, and just a few days before, they do a real meet, almost, to just keep them sharp.
Mhm.
And it started. We were going down the runway one after the other, doing our jumps. Each
Mhm.
person gets 6 jumps, and then it started to rain cats and dogs. And
Mm.
I was actually the last jumper.
Okay.
And in track and field, they don't shut down a meet unless they see lightning. So it was coming up on that time, and they made a
Oh, I
decision.
know. I used to
Yeah,
run that. Unless
yeah,
it's
you'll be out there,
lightning and raining
torrential rain.
hard. You running. You running in that rain.
Indeed, indeed. And they made a decision that I would be the last jumper, that they
Mhm.
would shut down the meet after me. So obviously wanted to get a good one in because this was my last jump before the actual event, which was just literally that later on that week. I went blazing down the track, could hardly see because it was raining so hard. And when I hit the board to take off, my leg slipped from under me. And
Mm-hmm.
imagine running at full speed. As I took off, I could feel my leg tearing in three places.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have crumpled into the sand.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and as I was there bawling, my
Mm-hmm.
tears mixed with the rain, I could look around and see the stands clearing out. And it hit me that this is the highest and
Mm-hmm.
lowest point of my life at the exact same time.
Yeah.
You know, to make the Olympics, you have to be 1% of the 1% of 1% of 1% of 1% of the
Absolutely.
world to get to that elite level, and to get there and know that just in seconds, um, the dream is over.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do? Um, to be honest with you, the hardest part was calling my parents after the meet and telling
Mm-hmm.
them it's over. That was so traumatic for me. I had to pump up myself so hard to
Mm-hmm.
break the news to them. Um, what I learned too, though, is that
Mm-hmm.
you run out of tears after 2 days.
Yeah. So I have a question.
Yeah.
Quickly, what were you thinking when you experienced that, that pain, and what was your mindset when you had to come to the realization like, oh, my career in this aspect is over?
Oh gosh. At the time, you're short sighted in the sense that you see the fact that I'm at the Olympic Games.
Mm-hmm.
I have to sit down in the Olympic dorm and watch my own event on a small TV screen. You know,
Yeah.
emotionally, it was the worst pain that a 22-year-old could go through.
Yeah, for sure. You
Yeah,
worked so
because
hard for something,
yeah,
and
and I was
it's
like,
gone.
God, why would you? I saw God as a sadistic God. Why
Mm-hmm.
would you get me here?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you get me here to allow this to happen to me?
Mm-hmm.
You know? Um, so the emotional anguish was overwhelming. I think I was just trying to stay sane for the first 2 days because you feel so singled out as to why. There are a lot of why questions. What did I do to deserve this? You know, why didn't I stop and not make that last run?
Mm-hmm.
And you play things over and keep wondering how you could do it differently. I think when people go through tragic circumstances, they go through a range of emotions from, it's almost like a death, sad to say, a range
Right.
of emotions from depressed to
Grief.
angry. Yeah.
A lot of grief that you had to
Yes.
process from being in this one position to realizing that this is over. Like, my body will never do this again. As much as
Yeah.
I've tried to push it and heal it, my body just won't be as good as this point. So, that's grief, because
Yes.
we are coming to an end of something that we love. Because I can imagine, from you being a Olympian and a collegiate athlete, excuse me, that you had to love the sport to put time, effort, training, and then, for it to end like
Yeah.
this.
Well, let me clarify that it never ended totally. One thing athletes will tell you is they're accustomed to being injured, giving
Yeah,
themselves time to
it's true.
heal, and coming back. So I never saw it as a finality. But what
Okay,
I did see was the Olympics is every 4 years.
gotcha,
What are the odds? What are the odds of me getting back to this level?
gotcha.
People are improving every day.
Yeah,
When you get there, you have to make the best of it, because for very few people does it come back around. For the majority, it does not. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity for most. So I think that was what was heart wrenching and gut
Mhm.
wrenching for me, that I am here and I
Mhm.
am watching my event like everybody else on a screen.
Right.
Um, but
Mhm.
one of the things that I would say is that in every tragic circumstance, there's often a defining moment.
Mhm.
Um, I remember that as I was there, and on one of the days that I was able to come outside and try to have a good attitude, I said, you know what, let's go and check out the city center. And as soon as I came out of the Olympic Village, a bunch of missionaries descended on me like vultures.
How was that? That is different.
I was like, what's going on here?
Yes, what is happening?
But God bless them. They would have seen me heavily bandaged,
Uh-huh.
and they just wanted to speak life to me and give me some motivation, which I
That's still overwhelming.
yeah,
That's still,
yeah. It was a lot.
yeah.
Um, but what I found amazing is that sometimes people do things and don't understand the long-term consequences. All they did, they spoke life to me. They said they were sorry, and they give me a Bible. And what
Mhm.
is interesting is that over 25 years later, that's my Bible. You
Mm.
know, yeah. So,
That is
you know,
amazing that you still have
yes,
the same Bible.
yes. So I said, look how even in a challenging situation that was meant to floor me, there was still hope. There was still, there was still a little sign that it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
I haven't done this to you on purpose. I'm with you in the midst of you feeling like a hot mess. I am with you.
Yes.
So those were the main circumstances surrounding that aspect of my life.
Okay, well that's good. Thank you for sharing that part. So we are up to the games. I mean, you watching the games. You had to call your parents. What was? I'm
Mhm.
sorry, I forgot to ask you this. What were their reaction when you had to tell them?
Only by you asking that, I'm wondering if I even really know, because
Mm,
there would have been tears and snot on my
yeah,
end.
yeah,
I think they try to be good parents by saying, it's all
it'll be okay.
right,
Yeah,
it'll be
yeah,
okay. But you couldn't help but feel like if you had disappointed them.
yeah,
Because think about it, parents live through their children.
yeah. A lot of times in certain situations, they do.
Yeah,
They want you to be better than them, so they put a lot of
yeah,
pressure. They can, not all parents, but they can put a lot of pressure on children,
yeah.
on the
But
children.
they
Yes.
never did, they always supported me. And
Hmm.
I think you always want to do well for them, so that who doesn't want to hear, I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
And I think at that moment I felt like the ultimate disappointment,
Mm. So
you
when
know.
you were feeling like that, what is a way that you did to get out of that, that hole?
It took time.
Okay.
Um,
Or
I
how long
think
did it
that
get you out of that hole?
I would say several months to come out of that slump,
Okay.
because especially when remember, I would have gone not only representing myself but my
Sure.
country.
Exactly.
And yeah, and the way your mind works to try to defeat you is that, whenever I left my house, I felt like if people were, that's the girl that failed.
Okay.
That, that's how I saw it.
So you
Yeah.
felt like embarrassment at some point?
Yeah, and even though
Okay.
nobody's checking for you, nobody, they're not checking for
People
you. They're
really don't be
probably
thinking about you like you think they do.
no, no,
They really don't.
no. They're probably like, "What is your name?" and you are who. But in your mind, you see it
Yeah.
as,
Right.
this big L on your head, and everybody could see
Hmm.
you. You felt ashamed to walk around like, look at that failure. She failed at the highest level. How dare she? Like, oh.
Yeah.
She couldn't just keep it together for one event. And that is how your mind could just engage in such self sabotage.
Yeah. And those horrible sayings and thoughts we create in
Yes.
ourselves that are not really
Yes.
there. So, okay,
Yes.
so
Hmm.
here we're at a slump, we're trying to get out, and relationships. So, how do we get into the relationship part of your story?
So obviously, I would have made a decision there and then that I'm bouncing back. Nobody's checking for me. Nobody's coming
Mhm.
to save me from my sorrows. Enough mourning. Get back on track.
Okay.
And obviously at that time, I would have had like most collegiate athletes, you have um, for some people situationships, for some people relationships. I
Hmm.
had a little boyfriend at that time, and you think at that stage that, especially when you found a good connection with someone, usually in your 20s, mid
Hmm.
20s, let's say, coming on to your mid 20s, you start thinking, this could be my person.
Yeah.
This could be my forever person. This could last. And then until that truth was rocked and shaken,
Yeah.
um, I found out, I think because I went on to graduate school and he was in college. And then I found out coming on to the end of year 4 when he was finally going to be coming back home with me and we would be together forever, that he was actually living with somebody else,
Mm-mm.
right?
Yeah.
Um, and this is not uncommon for females in that age group to realize that there's
Yeah.
not the loyalty you thought there was.
Yeah. So I
But
do have a question, and I'm sorry to
mhm,
interrupt you, but do you feel like you missed certain signs that you probably misinterpret during those times? That you possibly could have thought like, oh, this is not really what he means, or am I, you know, putting too much effort into something that he's not putting as much effort into? Did you feel any of that intuition as you guys were in your relationship?
that's a good question. I would say for most of it, we were in sync. For a lot of it, it was long
Okay.
distance, and we then reconnected. I either visited him in New York, he came back home to Barbados. So for a
Hmm.
lot of it, I felt like we were in sync. But towards the end, they say that a woman always knows. You can't be a woman's intuition. We know when something has changed, even if we can't put our finger on it. We know.
Women's intuition. I tell people that all the time. The thing is that our intuition is more than likely correct, but we
Mhm.
have to always listen to it. We ignore our intuition all the
Yes.
time because what if we're wrong? Or, I don't want to seem like I'm, over exaggerating a situation. But really, it's like, really, sis, you not over exaggerating. You right. Like you
Yes.
are correct.
Yes. Pay attention to the signs.
Pay
Yeah.
attention. Yeah.
So I started feeling the drift.
Okay.
I started feeling the drift and I knew that something was off. And I remember one time getting a girlfriend of mine. We always have that right or die that
Oh yeah.
will,
No, you right. We got it. We
we
got
all,
that one good one that's gonna ride no matter what.
listen to me. We have that right or die. And she was like, Sharita, we have to get to the bottom of this. And
Mhm.
even though we were 3,000 miles away, through technology, phone calls, all sorts of different things, we skillfully worked out that he was actually living with someone.
Mm.
So here I was thinking, last semester he's wrapping it up and coming home to me. And no, he would have been living with Becky Sue for the last term. And you knew too because the phone calls got less, the messaging got less, you knew.
Mhm.
But you just didn't know what. And it was hard to accuse somebody of something that you had no evidence for. But eventually we made our discovery, and sadly
Mhm.
I had to make some decisions that this was not going to work out.
How did you guys find out?
Listen, I just remember girlfriend and I sitting down in a parked car with phones and me calling a roommate of his, but then I had to act like, yeah, so and so he told me that he was moving in with somebody because you live in situation, but I don't have his number. Can you give me his number? We had to do all that creative stuff, different voices, this, that, and the other, just to get the number. And when we got the number and I called, I remember saying, hey, hey, how are you? Whatever. And I think what hurt me the most, because this was a landline number in the girl's apartment,
Right, right,
I,
right.
I think what shocked my system was how unbothered he sounded.
Oh,
He
like he
was
didn't
literally
care.
like, hey. So imagine he knows that I am calling a woman's apartment, a woman I don't know, asking to speak to him, and he comes on the phone like, hey, how are you doing? What's happening? As if,
That is the ultimate gut punch.
The I Only Listen to 90s Music podcast is a show for 80s babies who were 90s kids. If you were a no limit soldier, then this is your show. If you believe that Cash Money is not an army but was a Navy, this is the show for you. If you and your friends ever tried to sing a song written by Escape, In Vogue, Shy, or Boyz II Men at a talent show during middle school, this is your show. The I Only Listen to 90s Music podcast is a bunch of 80s babies talking about all the songs and things that we loved when we were kids and teenagers. So if you went to the skating rink and you were at a lock-in, this is the show for you. If you think that Tevin Campbell was the original Prince of R&B, this is the show for you. If you don't understand the conflict between Monica and Brandy, but you're kind of on Monica's side and understand why Brandy got punched, this is the show for you. Make sure that you tune in, subscribe, click the little subscribe link. We're here. We're going to talk about all things 90s music. This is the show for you.
How could you have no considerations for my
yeah,
feelings?
yeah. And it's interesting that you say gut punch, because I remember sitting in a chair and literally sliding out of that chair onto the ground, sliding
That is
in shock.
horrible.
Yeah. So that broke me because, that was my first real love. And the recovery process obviously would have taken time. I had to take time to heal, because once again, you go into the why questions. What did I do to
Wow.
deserve this?
Yes, yes,
Why
yes.
me? Why am I breaking up with somebody at 27 when that was around the age my parents got married? Oh my gosh, what's going to happen now? Am I going to be alone forever? And you go down the road with your emotions.
Yeah, those thoughts again. Negative
Yes.
thoughts creep into our mind whenever we are feeling slightly off balance. So the
Correct.
Olympian trials, negative thoughts. The cheating and deception. I'm even going to throw in deception because he knew what was going on
Oh, yeah.
again through
Yeah.
all. And so it builds negative thoughts in our brain
Yes.
that why, like, what did I do, why did this happen, and what did I do, what did I do to deserve it, why is this
Mm-hmm.
me, things like that. So okay, so we got
Correct.
two. What, I'm sorry, Miss Cherita, your story is so interesting to me. Please continue.
No, thank you. Thank you. But yeah, you have it. Negative thoughts building up. And then I think what happens is that you get a compounding effect.
Hmm.
So, you start the journey of building yourself back up. You know what? Everybody goes through relationship issues. You're no different, but come on, get back out there, start to talk to people, start to meet people. And I don't know what was in the water, but everybody that I met was a story in itself. It was ridiculous. It was bad. And that's just the dating world nowadays. But think about it. When you are in it, hoping to find your someone, you start to believe this is a you problem because you're the
Hmm.
common denominator.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't fool myself. I said, look, how am I meeting loser after loser after loser? Maybe I need to check myself,
Yeah.
right? And I was brave enough to say, let's do that. Let's go
Yeah.
to some, you know what? Go to some um inspirational events, weekend
Yeah.
events or whatever, and start trying to edify yourself and find out your blind spots, because you
Yeah.
got to be doing something to be attracting the wrong people all
The
the
wrong
time.
people. Yeah, it's some
Mhm.
energy that we're not always used to. I mean, we don't know what we're doing, and we it comes out of us, even though we think we're not doing to whatever to attract the same type of person. But for some reason, we continue to do that. So whatever it is, I'm
Yeah.
so happy you took accountability and decided to figure out whatever it
Yes,
is to me that I need to change the trajectory, um, so I can get better. So, like, you changed
indeed.
the mindset and everything. Oh, tell us more.
Well, one thing that I did, which I think really helped me,
Mhm.
um, I can't remember his name now. Ron, can't remember his name. But at one of the events that I went to, I think it was Mega Fest. Listen. I was determined to work on me. Okay,
Yeah.
I was determined to work on me. I picked up and hopped on a plane and went to Atlanta. I think it was Mega Fest or something like that. So they had a lot of different inspirational workshops and so forth. And one of them was talking about the top 10 non-negotiable lists. Now, I know we women have had it all with lists. We're tired of lists. But I could tell you this for a fact.
Mm-hmm.
This list I paid attention to,
Okay.
because what it did, to compact it real quick, um, the gentleman guided us through this exercise that on your own, when you have time, sit down and write all the things about the opposite sex that you love. Try to
Okay.
get as close to 100 things as possible. So, of
Mm.
course, my bow legs, my dark skin, my, all the stuff that went down there. You start realizing that a lot of physical stuff makes the list, right? But I also had honesty, integrity, spontaneous, this, that, and the other. And then take your highlighter, and now you can only highlight 25,
Okay.
25 qualities and characteristics of the opposite sex. So
Okay.
in doing that, you realize all the different little things that you like juicy lips and, 6 feet tall. All of a sudden, those are not making the cut.
Right. Right.
But then here's where it really filters things out for you and gives you a new perspective. Bring
Mm-hmm.
it on down now. Get your little Sharpie and bring it on down to the top 10 non-negotiables.
Okay. So I just want to make sure our listeners are following along. So 100 first,
100.
then 25,
Yes.
then 10.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
All
And
right.
and and those traits that you would have written down in the 100 are everything you could think about the opposite sex as attractive. So from physical traits to, emotional traits, characteristics such as, I don't know, makes decisions fast, financially sound, romantic, whatever you can think of, write it down. And what's interesting is that in my top 10, I got things like Christian for me was number one. That's just because that's how I live my life. And I say, you know what, I'll put it number one, because before I was operating with it low down and then getting everybody who always was not of the same persuasion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it just didn't work out. I had things like honesty, um, romantic, spontaneous, um, sense of humor I had in there.
Mm-hmm.
So those are some of the things that I could remember that made my top 10. And
Mm-hmm.
what happened is that in that process, then when I met guys in the future,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you spoke to them, but then you had to be honest to yourself. Cherita, if Christian is number one and he is not, why are you still trying to get to know him deeper? Why are you tricking yourself?
Yeah. People aren't going to change.
You
That's just
understand?
it. Mhm.
You understand? And I saw people through a new lens,
Yeah.
So yeah, that helped me uh not waste time
Mm-hmm.
like I was before. And then too, it helped me quickly know who to put into the colleague section.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Everybody doesn't have to be a forever, or a let's see how this goes as a relationship. Some of
No.
them can make it as colleagues.
Yeah. Like that's just a cool friend. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Mm-hmm. A
Yeah.
cinema buddy once in a blue moon, and you say hi to him, 4 weeks later.
Yep. That's
Um,
it. That's all.
and I think the problem is that we try to put everybody in the land of hopefully this is it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. We try to, as women, we try to fantasize every guy
Yes.
that we like, oh, this is my husband because he brought me some water. He's the best thing ever. We are gonna be together forever because he's my husband and he brought me a water bottle to work. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. But I mean, as women, that's what we do. And maybe
It's true.
the water bottle thing was a little over dramatic, but you get it.
But it's true though. We always and listen, it's not over dramatic because we do look for sometimes the littlest signs we hang on to as this is it. This is
Yeah.
it.
We do. So you're right. I'm happy that you're mentioning that. Like everybody that you meet will not be your potential partner. Somebody, which
Mhm.
sometimes people will just be like friends, like a colleague, like,
Yes.
sharing news information.
Yes.
Everyone
It's
is
true.
not, yeah, everyone is not your future husband that you meet.
No. No.
Yeah.
No. So
Thank you.
that helped me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That helped me so much. And then another thing that I started doing, um, even though it hurt me to do it sometimes, especially if I connected with one that, oh, I like this one.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have all the top 10, but he has some good qualities in there. I like this one. And I would say almost with trepidation, okay, God, if this one is not of you, remove him radically
Mm-hmm.
from my situation. Sometimes that man was gone in 3 weeks. Oh,
Or quicker.
and then-
That God remove me prayer. It works so fast. I don't
oh
think people
gosh.
realize how fast that prayer works. It moves
Listen,
quickly. I mean, he moves quickly. It
sometimes it's like, did you have to be so brutal though? Like, did it have to be so rough? I
had
mean,
to be so rough. Yes. Yes, it did. It absolutely would have. Or you would have stayed.
correct. I mean, it got so the stories and scenarios were so crazy. One of them, he just forgot, okay?
Mm.
He forgot to tell me that he had a wife and a newborn. He just forgot.
I didn't.
He
how do you
forgot.
forget? How do you forget that?
And the joke is he told me he had a 5-year-old child. And I think I was young 30s at the time. I said,
I'm not.
you, I don't know anything about dealing with children, but you know what? I, I
Mm-hmm.
could I could work with this. I'm glad he came out. And so imagine he tells me about a 5-year-old child, but forgot the wife and the newborn.
Yeah.
Newborn.
I'm happy that you mentioned he can. You said it twice. Um, I can work with this. I can work with this. And so when we have our list and our list and boundaries, on what we're
Yes,
willing to
boundaries.
listen. Yep. And then when we say I can work with this, that's like
Mm,
not honoring our
ooh,
boundaries.
there you go.
Yeah, it's not honoring what we said we were going to do to protect us because that's what boundaries are. It's protection for us. It's not for
Yes.
anybody else. It's not for anyone to, feel slighted. It's just for us. This protects me.
Hmm.
So yeah. But he forgot about the wife and the baby.
Forgot.
So I guess he forgot he was at a ceremony. I guess he forgot he stood up and said I do. I guess he wasn't there. I don't know. Maybe he forgot to sign the papers. It's
He
so many
forgot.
things.
He forgot. And the joke is when made the discovery, I made the discovery from his boss. His
Oh
boss
wow.
used to come to, yeah, his boss was connected with my workplace in some form or fashion. And I remember telling him, I saw the boss one day and I said, I really like so and so, he's so nice. And then he said, yeah, his wife and baby are due to come. And I remember I said, Pardon? I
Mm.
what do you mean? Yeah, Cherita, he has a wife and a newborn. No, are we talking about the same person? And we shared the names. And once again, I guess
Hmm.
this happened to me a lot. I slid out of my office chair onto the ground.
Yeah, because you were trying to build your boundaries, and then again,
Oh,
when we say we can work with it, and then it's not, it doesn't honor us, is what I'm trying to say.
oh, oh my gosh.
That had to be very heartbreaking. Again, that being led astray, being the deception of it, you know, things like that.
Yes. Yeah.
But how did you take accountability in that sense, as far as that relationship? Like you took accountability for the other one.
Well, I had to acknowledge too that, you know what, nothing is wrong with being hopeful.
Yeah.
But Sharita, you were speeding your head. You thought that because you went and fixed yourself, right?
Mm.
Because you went and did all you could do to elevate your thinking, that the problem was over. That you didn't need to put on your blinkers anymore. You had this opinion that now that you were quote unquote fixed,
Uh
that
huh.
problem shouldn't be coming your way.
Yeah. So
That
then
was my
once you came
mistake.
to that, yeah, that no, seriously, a lot of women do that, right?
Yes.
We fix ourselves. We're like, okay, it's never going to happen to me again, and then we forgot to use the strategies and the tools we accumulated to help us, make better choices
Uh,
and make wiser choices and listen to that
yes.
gut. You got to listen to our intuition. And then it goes into people pleasing because women and girls were so used to teaching us rather, like, oh, we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. We want to seem modern.
Mm,
We want to seem meek. We want to seem agreeable. But this is killing us. This is not doing us any justice when we know
no.
something is off balance.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And I made some decisions. I think even though it was painful that each dating experience had some drama affiliated with it, I
Hmm.
used each bad experience to create another mental boundary
Okay.
and to learn from it. Rather than being bitter, I
Yeah.
started making better decisions. I made
Right.
a decision too that, you know what, I'm just going to be celibate in this single season for that period of time until God, you show me who is for me. I was at an age where my heart desired a strong relationship,
Yeah.
marriage, somebody who I could come home and share
Companions.
my space
Yeah.
with.
Share your life with.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and I said, you know what, this is an injustice, sharing parts of me with people who can't carry the weight
Yeah, who don't have the
of who I am.
capacity.
No.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what, just behave your little self, meet people, yes, but don't get deep into anything. And I just started doing better, um, quickly cutting people off if I realized this was
Mm.
going to be a toxic situation, because I made a serious decision to love myself more,
More.
honor
You have
myself
to love yourself
more.
more. Yes. You have to love yourself more when you want to
Yeah.
have companionship with other people because you in that relationship too. So
Yes.
mhm.
Yeah. Um, and what happened as I did that and set those fences around myself and my thinking sharpened and I stopped being so caught up in I want to find that person was, you know what, in your single season, focus on whatever God's purpose is for your life.
Mm-hmm.
He knows the desires of your heart. That person will come along
Mm-hmm.
in God's timing. And I started operating like that. I built businesses in the
Mm-hmm.
process of my singlehood. And I started to see, maybe I'm not supposed to be distracted at
Yeah.
this stage of my life, you know? And then I met a man.
Mm-hmm.
I met a man.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what is interesting to note is that this man would have been in my space
Mm-hmm.
for 16 years.
Mm-hmm.
But like many women,
Mm-hmm.
he was not on my radar
Okay.
because he was not my type.
Tell us more. Tell us more. Tell us more. We're listening.
He was not my type. We were in church together. I
Uh-huh.
saw him, but he was not my type and I was not his.
Yeah.
Nothing was wrong with him. He was just a good church guy, and I was in church too, but still on the streets. I was straddling the fence. I wanted somebody with some life and some
But you say you still outside a little bit. You was still outside.
just a little bit, just a little bit.
Still playing outside a little bit.
So I thought that he would have been too serious and goody two shoesy for me, and I just did not see him in that light at all. And what happened is that one day I dealt with what I made the decision that this was the last bad man experience I had. A
Mhm.
guy had invited me out to a sporting event, and imagine half hour before we were to leave and go and meet up, he acted as if he never invited me anywhere, right?
Mm,
And I
mm.
made a decision there and then that I was just done. I'm done, done, done. I'm done. I'm done. Not that I don't want anything to do with men, but I am just done.
Yeah,
And I think sometimes God waits for that finality.
yeah. Like when you get finally overwhelmed with everything
Yes.
that you like, okay, Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah, I know.
Like literally
Like,
take this wheel. I am finished. I've drove
yes,
this car as far as it's gonna go.
I'm done.
We're done. Like you can drive or we can just walk together because I'm
Yeah,
done. So yes, you're
that's
right.
it right
But
there. My flag
that
of surrender was
the
up.
flag of surrender, the
Yeah,
white flag. Yes.
I
Mhm.
listen. I was waving a whole white banner. Yeah, I can't.
Not a
I
banner.
can't. I can't. A whole banner, whole banner. And that same day, it was a 21st of January. Sorry, a 23rd of January. Remember it well. That same day, I was so fed up. I said, you know what? Let me go on. I think it was Facebook or something at the time, and just let me talk to some random person in my contacts just to get my mind off of this.
Mhm.
You know.
Mhm.
And I remember I went scrolling through the list of people there, and I
Mhm.
saw the name of the guy from church. He popped up first, Andrew O'Dell, and I was like, oh no, 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 that's that serious guy from church. And I went scrolling. I was like, I
Not
need to
you
take my
playing them
mind off of this.
twice.
I did. Yes. And I scrolled all the way to the bottom.
Oh my goodness.
And I was like, oh, lost, there's nobody else. Let me just say hi. And you ready for what happened next?
What happened?
Strap on your
Miss
seatbelt.
Cherita O'Dell.
Strap on your seatbelt. I'll tell it real fast. Um, 5 months later, I was engaged.
Mhm.
6 months after that, I was married. 1 month after that, I was pregnant. Out pops the first child. After that, I was pregnant again. I went from single to a family of 4 in 2 years.
God is a God of suddenly. It happens
Lis-
so quickly.
Listen,
Suddenly.
I don't even know what happened. If you ask me what,
I don't even know what happened.
I have to look at pictures to see, okay, what? Yeah, it was that fast. And the difference between this man and the other losers who didn't make the cut before, this man was intentional.
Mm.
I didn't have to wonder if he was interested in me or not.
You knew.
Yeah, it was as if this was happening, whether I'm participating or not, this was happening in his head, right?
Mhm.
And also to he brought the traits that everyone else failed in.
Okay, tell us some.
You understand? So like each dating experience, anything that went wrong in those experiences, he shone brightly in.
Mm.
So if in previous little friendships you realize the man doesn't even call to see how you're doing during the day or send a text message or just ghost you for 2 weeks, um, he was calling every day just to see how you were. He would
Mm-hmm.
leave his work, drive half hour away to find me, to bring me a brownie, to hop back in the car to get back to work,
Mm-hmm.
then for another half hour to make up his lunch hour, just to say I was thinking of you.
Mm-hmm.
I felt as if I mattered. All of a sudden, I was important to someone. And he carried, he did everything that the others failed in. And it was almost as if what the ways in which the others failed were lessons to me of what you do not want. So that when
Mm-hmm.
somebody presented themselves with proper characteristics, not perfection,
Mm-hmm.
proper decent characteristics, they
Mm-hmm.
shone brightly because they were absent before.
Mm.
You
That's
know?
I do. That's really good. That's good.
Yeah, yeah.
So on your list, I'm have to go back to the list, right? So we went from 100 to 25 to 10. How many did he have on that list?
9 out of 10. And and the 10th one, you kind of knew based on the character that you were talking to, that the
Yeah.
10th one would arrive over time.
Mm. So you saw
But
promising potential, not just
yeah,
potential.
yeah. And
Yes.
I think that's what you have to remember. Don't get so caught up in lists that, this guy doesn't have this, so let me not talk to him. You have to be true to yourself and ask, what is a prerequisite right now? And what do you see that person developing in because you are now present, you
Mm-hmm.
know? But don't be a missionary dater because a lot of us women do that. Missionary daters are the ones that I'm going to save him, fix him.
Don't save him. Don't fix him. I say this all the time. Don't save him. Don't fix him. This sounds horrible. Be a grown man.
Yeah.
Like, those are two different things. I'm happy that you mentioned that. You can see potential in somebody and you know that you
Mhm,
can help them, move to the next level. But that is not saving someone. Do not save. Don't fix. Don't all the
mm-mm,
things.
mm-mm,
None of
mm-mm. And we
those.
do that a lot because
We do do that
women
a lot.
naturally have a caring,
Nurture.
nurturing desire to serve. And when I say
We
serve,
do.
as in really help bring out the best in you, that
We
is in
do.
us.
That is in us. That's right.
Yeah. But sadly, we give it away to all the wrong people.
We do. We give it
Yeah.
up. Then sometimes we give so much out that we become bitter. So I'm happy that your story never made you bitter. So yeah, it does. So
Thank you.
your purpose, your purpose. Um, Your story itself is always good. Thank you. This has been a
Thank
wonderful
you.
story. And guys, she has a book and everything. I'm gonna let her finish, but this is just
Mhm.
literally a snapshot. This is not this is not a whole thing. We just have a small amount of time. But can you just talk to us about your purpose and going forward and things like that?
I think my defining purpose is letting others know that you are enough.
Yes.
And when I say that, work on you before you allow anybody else to get the praise that is you.
Mm-hmm.
be true to yourself in just recognizing shortcomings,
Mm-hmm.
um, that you can patch and repair, because we always want to be our best self. And my job is to help others do that through resilience, through the fact that even though life may have knocked you down in different areas, it could be sickness, it could be relationship wise, career gone bust, money gone, whatever, that there is always hope.
Mm-hmm.
And that once you love on yourself and value who you are and try to elevate your own development, that you will be rewarded.
Mm-hmm.
You will be rewarded, but remember that you are enough. Don't allow anybody else to make you feel small. You are the prize.
I love that. Thank you. So, you also do speaking engagements and
Yes.
workshops. What do you
Mhm.
highlight when you do your speaking engagements and your workshops with the ladies?
Thanks for asking. I am actually what you call a transformational speaker.
Okay.
So I do a lot of women's empowerment sessions, yes, because obviously I can identify with my fellow females and the struggles and challenges of, career, work, and personal life. But I also focus on the bounce back,
Okay.
because there's so many people out there that feel defeated, that are looking on at others around them and thinking that they don't match up,
Comparison.
they're
Mm-hmm.
behind in the race. And my job is to come through and tell you, look, no, you're not. You are right where you're supposed to be. And
Mm-hmm.
now let's look ahead as to where you're supposed to go.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Um, do you want to leave us with any other extra knowledge before we close the show? Thank you. You've been an inspiration to not just me, but to everyone else who's listening.
Thank you so much. I would say this: wherever you're at, um, life is going to be life, but you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to succumb to the most challenging aspects of it. Rest assured that there are others out there, um, experiencing their share of challenges to which you more than likely would not want. So,
Yes.
as much as you feel that you're getting things wrong or bad things keep happening to you, the
Yeah.
more and more you listen to others, you realize it's not just you, sweet girl. It's not just you.
I'm so happy you stated that because it's not just you. We're all
No.
trying. So yes. Miss, we're gonna have to have you on again. I appreciate it. So we can talk more about what strategies you use for your women empowerment, excuse me.
Hmm.
We have to have you on to discuss more about that.
Well, thank you so much. And I encourage everyone who has, if my story has resonated with you, feel free to check out my new book, which is called Good God. And you can look at it either the good God of frustration or the good God of, thank you, you're good. And I have that at goodgodhelpmeout.com. And you
Mhm.
can check that out for yourself. May it encourage you and just motivate you.
And then your socials.
Yes, you can find me on Cherita O'dell Speaks, and
Mhm.
that's on Facebook and Instagram. Cherita spelled Cherita. And I'm on LinkedIn as well if you want to know me in a professional capacity. Cherita O'dell, Cherita apostrophe Dell, Cherita O'Dell.
All right. Thank you guys. And again, yes, we're gonna get together because you just dropped a whole lot of knowledge in an hour.
Thank you so much for allowing me to share. And I'm praying that it really helps other people and makes them inspired and motivated.
Yeah, me too, including me. So everybody, this is Womanology with Ria. Again, check us out, Womanology underscore podcast, IG. Please subscribe. SOLC Network, Womanology Podcast at YouTube. Thank you. I love you. Bye.
Bye.